Hello, this is Margie Roy from 3dcuts.com, and today I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to make my starlight pillars. This is a new cardstock project that can be made either using a cutting machine or cut by hand. The interesting part on this project is you start with a very simple star-shaped pillar that you create in 7 different heights. All are included in the download. The papers you choose and the lights you choose and how you arrange them can be very different. Here is an arrangement that would be perfect for a 4th of July celebration. Or how about adding some greens and using it on your mantle at Christmas? Do it in black with blue LEDs and you've got a perfect centerpiece for a 50th birthday party or some sort of awards ceremony. Use your imagination. This file can be used in so many different ways. As with all my tutorials, there is a companion website to go with this video. Details like the sizes of the pieces, the types of paper I use, and other good information is included there. So be sure to go to the address shown on the screen to get this added information before you start cutting. Let's get started. I have cut out on my Silhouette Cameo the pieces for the starlight pillars. This is the piece for the tallest one. It is made of just the piece, the base, plus a plain piece of paper. I like the pillar to have a light inside so that the light will be reflected out. If you have double-sided cardstock, you can use that instead of layering these two. I did have double-sided cardstock, but I found that the colors weren't really the ones I wanted, and so I went about making my own double-sided cardstock. This is a piece of just plain copy paper. It is bright white, and that's what I used to line the inside of my pillar. You should use a light color if you want the light to be reflected out of it. So I've got my sidewalls, my base, and my interior. The base should match the interior color, so I've got that in white. However, in making this example on the video, I'm going to do a red one just so it stands out and you can see more clearly. Remember, it should be the same color as your interior, but I'm going to use a different one. First thing, take your cardstock. It has a number of score lines. I use a dotted cut for my score line. And you're going to start with the tallest peak and you're going to fold that to be a mountain. I'm going to crease that. And then the next one I'm going to fold as a valley, and I'll continue across the entire piece going back and forth. It is important if you're using double-sided cardstock that the tall one is a mountain and this is your light side. On cardstock that's the same color on both sides, it doesn't really matter. There. Now I'm going to flatten it out again. I folded it before applying this because I found it very difficult to do it the other way around. So one set of folds now, and now I'm going to go outside and spray glue this and attach it to my backing, my sidewalls here. I've moved my crafting area outside. I'm going to be doing some spray gluing, and I'm out here for the ventilation. I've set up a little craft area in my driveway. I am going to be adding the white paper to the back side of each of the star-shaped forms. You've already folded it. Take the star-shaped form. The tallest peak is a mountain. Turn it over so that mountain is down and flatten it out. I'm using the back side of an old Silhouette cutting mat here just to protect my work surface. I'm going to take my white copier paper and clip it to my cardboard box over here. I have Aleene's Tacky Spray. That's the spray I like to use because it gives me a little bit of working time. I'm going to spray this here. Take the sheet. Now I'm going to curl it and I'm going to drop it on top of this with the center hitting first. I'm then going to press from the center out in all directions to get it nice and flat. Peel it off the mat, and I will repeat that with each of the star-shaped forms that I'm going to make. Okay, back inside now. My sidewalls are glued to the background, and I'm going to use my paper cutter and carefully cut off the excess white so that it does not show. There's the base. Left side. Now I'm going to take my Tim Holtz scissors and cut off the remaining white, working carefully to be sure that no white remains. I really like these scissors because they're slightly serrated so that surfaces that have adhesives on them don't stick to them. Do this for the entire top edge. If you have any slight areas of white still showing, use a razor blade and remove those. They will show later. I've made my double-sided cardstock now. I'm going to refold this, remembering that the tallest peak is a mountain fold. Starting with that one, I'm going to again fold it back and forth, creasing on every fold. On the inside of your star pillar, you are to take a ruler and a pencil and measure down 2.5 inches from the top edge at both ends. Draw a light line between them. I'm going to make mine a little bit darker so that you'll be able to see it. This distance will be different on every star pillar, but you always want this line 2.5 inches down from the top. That is a good distance for your tea light to be in, depending on the type of tea light you use. That's why we use that distance. Then turn this piece over and take score tape, and I want you to add 1 length of 1/4 inch score tape along the tab. It goes along the outside of the tab. Press it well. Now, take your star and fold back all 10 of the little tabs on the star base. Take 1/8 inch score tape and put 1 piece of score tape along the dotted line on each of the 10 sides. I'm going to use scissors to cut the score tape here. You can use your fingernail and just tear it, but I find it harder to separate the backing when I do that. If it's got good crisp corners, it is easier to separate the backing, and I found it worked better, saved me time on this particular project. And it's all about saving time, isn't it? There. Score tape is now applied to all 10 sides on the outside of the folded star. I am going to take a little spatula and press these all down well. Score tape adheres really nicely, but you do have to affix it well to the cardstock. And the same with this one here. Okay, take the side of the pillar, turn it over so the tab is away from you. Take your star, peel the backing out of one of the valley folds on the star. You will notice that on the tab of the star, one side has a right angle, and that's out at the point, and one side has an angle, a V. You're going to take the right angle of the tab and you are going to match it up to the line and to the fold seam right there and press it in place. Then you will bend it around and press the next tab up on the next side, always keeping the bottom of the tab on line with this pencil line that you made across here. Peel the next two and repeat on the next point of the star. The important thing is to line the bottom up with that pencil line and then press things well. I'm going to continue to do that for the next sides of this starlight pillar. When you get to the last corner here, we approach it a little differently. First, we peel the side next to the tab on the side wall. Accessibility gets a little tougher here as we get more closed in. And then the side tab goes down and adheres to the star. I can peel the other last tab. You can see why I did this one in red, so that you could see the score tape and you can see it easily against the white here, but remember yours would be white. Then I peel the long side tab as well. Now, as you position this very last edge, the important point is this point to here. You want your bottoms to align perfectly. So I'm going to bring that over and align that just a hair behind the folded seam. I'm going to work my way up the side here, making sure that the top also lines up like that. I always work with a letter opener because it's an excellent tool for reaching into tight spaces and making sure my score tape is well adhered. I'm doing all the side tabs, making sure they're pressed in place. There, now I can take an LED light and place it in there, and there we go. There's the first one. Remember, you can make them in all different sizes. How will you display your starlight pillars? I'd love to see some creative ideas, so please share. Thanks for watching, and happy crafting, everyone.